today's little project is the depth stop. Now we want to flatten that on both sides down to 10 mil. I don't have a mill, so I thought about how I could do this. I might go to see a local engineering company that I know has got a mill and see if they'll do it for me, but that's obviously going to cost, and I don't like spending money. And I've got spares of these, so 16 mil threaded rod's easy to pick up anywhere. So what I've done is, on my thickness planer, I've my thickness to length of wood, one side 10 mil, one side 13, and cut two pieces. So I can use that as a gauge. 13 first on this side, and when that sits on there without rocking, and I can sight underneath and see that there's no light through, or very little, I'll get it as near as I can. I can just drop them down to the 10, and that should end up as 10 mil thick. Then I've got to figure out how to turn the 10 mil stub on the end there. I haven't got a metal lathe, but we'll see how this goes. Could be interesting. Starting off with a flat wheel, it's only because it's on there and I can't be bothered to change it, so we'll see how it goes. Good, aren't we? I don't think we're there yet, but we'll have a look. We've got 13 on. There's flat plate. Okay. I would say we're within a millimetre, but I'm slightly down on this side, so I want to concentrate on a bit more on the other side. We haven't moved a lot there at all. At this end, we're okay. You can actually hear that as we move along. That's scraping a bit up towards there, so a little bit more just off. There's not a lot there. Hardly anything in that now. Still a little bit. You just see some tiny scratch marks just on there. We're there. We are there. Wasn't good to have them over there. Okay, that actually worked out quite fine. I've just changed over cameras actually. The battery ran out on the other one and I've only got one battery for that one. So we've got, this should be a better camera, but I don't know how it's going to work out. But we'll see. I don't know what the sound's going to be like on this one. So anyway, now we want to take that down to the 10mm. I think we're about there at that end. seems we're alright. That end, there's a little bit just there. I think we're alright right there, so it's from there to there roughly. This bit here. That's good. And it looks quite flat. That looks nice. What you've got to remember is this doesn't have to be that accurate. It doesn't have to be milled perfect. It's only to fit. Get the headstock. On the headstock, it's only got to fit in this little gap here. So I think we'll say that's good enough. I don't know how accurate you'll be able to see this, but my millimetre scale is on the top. I don't know how that will show up at all, but I can read that as, well, that's spot on 10 there, and there. Made a shot there, aren't we? Right, start again. So, and maybe I'm a shade over on that little bit, but it's what, 0.1, 0.2 over. There, I'm spot on. There, I might be slightly under. Slightly under there. Spot on there, and I know this comes down to about 9 3/4 there, or 9.7, 9.8. I don't think that's too bad for a grinder. Still quite warm, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with the other end. Well, this is the little setup I've come up with. Seems to be working on its own. This has only got very, very slight tension on it. I've got the bar through there, which is pivoting off this piece of wood. I've got this piece coming up as a stop against this, so it can only go so far. It's clamped to either side, so it's holding it in exactly the position we want. It will turn. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to work. She squared off the rod against the face of this, so I know that that's going to lock through. There's a little bit of movement in it, but and we've got a butterfly out. I guess it's getting warmer. off there. That's the flat side there. Bring it around this side. Come back later when we're nearly done. Okay, we're done. That's not a bad fit in there either. You just want to put a thread on that end, so enough just to hold that. Hopefully it should be alright. It'll actually go. It'll sit that way actually. I'm just going to thread that M10. Right, that was got those two chamfers on either side of that, and it ain't going to tap with them on there, so I've ground it to kind of like a point. We'll see how it goes now. Started. Shouldn't need a lot because there's not a lot coming through. I'll put enough on there to put a nut on. Okay. Okay, there we are. What we need to do, of course, is to see that that is square on there, and at the moment it's not. So I've got to adjust the shoulders here, which I can file that. So I'll do a little bit of filing and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so that was literally a couple of strokes of the file. It didn't take much at all, but there you go. If anything, it was a little bit too much, but that's not far out. So the next thing we need to check is this way. And I think I'll leave that until we actually get onto the drill itself and see how that lines up, because that's not. And what is that out? Is it a degree out? It may be half a degree out. So I think I may leave that, because I don't know how this is going to sit, this thing here. It may sit one way or the other. Actually, I've got that on upside down. It should be that way. Oops. Let's do this in the vise. Okay, let's just check that again. Yeah, that's that way. That's pretty much perfect. But this way on, yeah, it's leaning slightly over that way from what I can see. Really not much at all. I'm not sure how you can see that. That really isn't leaning over much at all. If anything, really. So I'm inclined to leave that. I think the next thing we ought to do is put the drill head back together and see how this goes. But I think we'll paint this. So I'll paint this now, and maybe tomorrow or the day after we'll assemble the head assembly. Okay. There we go. I'm pleased with it.